So I went to Chicago for the first time last November, and despite the blistering cold and windy weather I experienced while I was there, I still had one hell of a good time. It is like no place I've ever been before, particularly because of the scale physically. There's just so many monstrous buildings with incredible architecture, and it made me feel very insignificant, but in a good way. And I was really a fan of that feeling, to be honest. I shot a couple of rolls through the Pentax 6.7, a roll of black and white, and then a roll of Portra 800. Didn't really get anything noteworthy. A couple of the black and white photos are okay. I did get a set of images on Portra 800, same location, same composition pretty much, but two different times of day. So I shot one in the morning and one at night, and when put together I think they work really well. So I'm pumped on those two images, but otherwise didn't shoot a lot, didn't get anything I'm super stoked on, but still had an absolute blast checking out Chicago for the first time, and it's definitely a place I plan to return to in the future to do a full in-depth episode on, because I definitely only scratched the surface on this first visit out to this incredible town.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Just
You cannot film on CT's property. Show me your permit.
I had no idea. I'm sorry.
I will call this in and get the police in here. That is absolutely against policy. You will get arrested. Filming on CT's property, a permit must be presented.
Well, next on the itinerary, we got a trip out to Nashville and St. Louis. The main purpose of this outing was to celebrate the marriage of two of my dear friends, Brian and Emma. They sealed the deal, they tied the knot, they made it official for life, and I couldn't be more happy for them. Super grateful to both of them for having Alicia and I out to celebrate their big day. It was a wonderful time. I got a pretty fun photo of the security guard at the wedding venue too, which I'm excited about, since we were going out to that part of the country before the wedding, Alicia and I thought it'd be a good excuse to go check out Nashville, which I had never been to before, and oh boy, it did us dirty. We did the downtown scene, got honky-tonked, and it was a rough night. I don't know if there's anywhere else in the world quite like it. Did photograph downtown a bit, which was fun during the day. Got some photos, some portraits actually, of some people that I think turned out pretty cool. Got a sequential three different photos of this one guy who was taking a hit of a blunt or something. And I'm really pumped on the way those turned out. And then I got another portrait of a dude with his pit bull, I believe it was. And yeah, pumped on those photos. But otherwise, just kind of messing around, shooting for fun, nothing special at all. But yeah, downtown Nashville. Ooh, man, lethal place. Speaking of lethal, we're in Nashville. We gotta have some hot chicken. So we headed over to Bolton's famous hot chicken and fish, where I proceeded to have a transcending spiritual experience just with their medium spice level. They say the medium is a usual place's extra spicy, and they aren't kidding. I'm pretty good with spice, but it knocked my socks off, and I was in pain. You know what? It was fun.
Probably the spiciest I've ever eaten.
It was just what I needed. It was a very humbling experience. The owners were super nice, got a couple of pictures there. Yeah, if you're in Nashville, you should check it out. But I wouldn't recommend getting anything hotter than the medium because it's no joke, okay? And if you want to just enjoy the chicken, just get the mild. Seriously. You think you're that guy. You're not that guy. Now, on our way out of St. Louis, I decided to grab myself a one-way ticket to the very tippity top of analog circle jerk by stopping at good old Waffle House. Now, before you crucify me for taking a photo of this place and inside this place, it was my very first Waffle House experience. I had never been to one before, and it was pretty damn cool, to be honest with you. I think it's sweet that they're open for 24 hours. I can only imagine what it's like at 2 a.m. in there, but really friendly service. The people working behind the counter were as kind as could be. Pretty good food, if I'm being honest. It really wasn't that bad for the price. I had to stop. You know, I'd never been there before, so yeah, that wraps up the Nashville and St. Louis experience. Definitely keen to go back to that part of the country and explore other parts of those states and surrounding states as well, because it seemed like there was just a lot of cool little towns and back roads to explore. It'd be fun to do a road trip over there for sure. But with that being said, let's head back over to the West Coast to one of my favorite towns in the world, Cannon Beach, Oregon. We did a little day trip out to Cannon Beach to meet up with two other photographers, Jimmy and Chase. Jimmy and I had been chatting for years at this point, trying to link up, and we were finally able to make it happen out on the Oregon coast. And it was a super fun time shooting with both these guys, two really talented photographers, and we had a super fun day just cruising around. Cannon Beach, went down to Manzanita a little bit, shot around, and then we ended with one of the best golden hour and sunset sessions I've had on the Oregon coast. It was a gorgeous night, and yeah, I was left with a few of my recent favorite photos, actually, which is kind of why I'm throwing this in the video. I wanted to share these photos with you guys. Didn't really film a whole lot, didn't have the intention of filming a video on this trip, which was pretty nice. It was refreshing to just kind of put the video camera on the back seat and just focus on taking photos, and as a result, like I said, I think I got some pretty solid stuff. I guess the subject and the compositions might be a little bit cliche, the classic golden grass, sandy beach, haystack rock in the background kind of thing, but I got Alicia in a lot of these frames and a random couple as well that were enjoying the sunset, and overall I'm pretty happy with these photos. The colors just spot on. We had these seagulls that were just doing laps over and over, posing for photos and just making the night really, really beautiful. So yeah, good outing to Cannon Beach. As always, if you ever get the opportunity to go out to that town, 100% do it. You will not regret it. It's absolutely wonderful. And for the final stop of today's video, we're going back to yet another familiar place. It's an absolutely beautiful hike out near Mount Rainier. I did this one 3 years ago. It's the backpacking trip that started it all for me and left me with one of my favorite images to date. Alicia had never done it before, so I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to go and do a little evening sunset mission up to Summit Lake. Summit Lake is a very mellow hike with incredibly rewarding views. I don't think there's a better vantage point of Mount Rainier in the area. If you're ever in town and you want to do a good old-fashioned Washington hike, this is the one I recommend. If you can get up there on a clear day and catch sunset, I promise it'll blow your mind. And that's exactly what happened to Alicia and I on this wonderful evening. We lucked out with a break in the clouds, had an awesome golden hour, and a really beautiful blue hour to follow. And yes, I got a Mamiya 7 again. That's what I was shooting on this hike. I realized that backpacking with the Pentax 6.7 is just not the move. I'm trying to shave some weight off of my pack this year. Every pound counts. So I decided to give the Mamiya another try. As I've mentioned before, I think the lenses are a little bit too clinical. I think it's incredibly overpriced. But for my ongoing series and project, I guess, that I'm working on up in the backcountry, my self-portrait series, and then just backpacking photography in general, I needed a camera that was a little bit more nimble and portable than the Pentax, and I like the focal lengths that are available for the Mamiya. I'm very interested to try that 43mm at some point. Right now I just have the 65, which is a perfect all-around focal length for 6x7. So I'm liking it a little bit more this time around, and hopefully it sticks on my shelf for a few years down the road this time. Alicia brought her Fuji X100V up on this hike, which is it might be the perfect all-around camera. It's super portable, super lightweight. You can take it hiking, you can take it on trips, and you don't have to touch the photos at all in Lightroom once you get them off of the camera. So she got some awesome stuff. She's just really good at making every little simple moment look incredible, and that's exactly what she did on this trip, of course. So she got some really great stuff on the Fuji. The pictures I got on the Mamiya I'm pretty happy with. There's a few keepers in there. I actually brought a flash with me this time, a little on-camera flash, to experiment with some stuff once it got dark out, and that was pretty fun. I got a couple of photos that turned out all right. It's definitely something I think I'll continue to do in the future. I got one of Alicia. It almost looks like it's a double exposure, but it's a single exposure. But I exposed for the mountain in the background while popping the flash off on Alicia. And yeah, it turned out pretty interesting. So I'll be bringing the flash up on more backpacking trips, I think, and shooting some stuff once it gets dark out, because that was a pretty fun little change of pace for me. This was a perfect way to kick off the hiking and backpacking season. I told Alicia when we were sitting on the ridge, making dinner, overlooking the mountain, that this is as good as life can get. Whenever I find myself up in the mountains, off the grid a bit, at a place where I can look out and just see trees and mountains for as far as the eye can see, it leaves me with a feeling I don't think I can get anywhere else. And I'll forever be a big advocate for experiencing that feeling. And I'm always excited to introduce more people into the world of hiking and backpacking. So if you ever have any questions or want to learn more about how to get involved into this world, please hit me up and let me know, because I'm more than happy to share some info and help out. So yeah, with that being said, everybody, thanks for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope everyone out there is staying healthy and having fun. And until next time, take it easy. Peace. Squarespace is the best in the business when it comes to building a new website. Whether you're a photographer, artist, musician, or starting a new business, Squarespace has all the tools you need to get a professional website up and running. I recently hosted an entire online photography gallery that featured 100 photographers from around the world on my personal website, and that's all thanks to Squarespace. The website building interface is extremely intuitive, and absolutely zero coding is necessary. They have a ton of fantastic templates to choose from, and from there you can begin to further customize the look and feel of your site to make it unique to you. On top of that, they have great e-commerce tools that let you keep track of orders, inventory, customers, offer memberships, and more. And with fantastic customer service, you're always in the clear if you ever need help along the way. If you'd like to receive 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, head over to squarespace.com/Brae or use code BRAE at checkout to do so.